Welcome back on deynonmod. Today I want to propose you the unboxing and first thoughts and a bit of first reaction about Chapter Approved, that is the new release about Games Workshop, that is an updating of what is the Warhammer 40k rulebook, and it had quite a lot of things, and it's a thing that I think that it's really nice to be done. Anyway, what I don't like is that in a softbox way. So you can see that this is the way. Sincerely, I don't like the soft cover, I prefer the hard cover. But anyway, it has a good thing, that it's a continuation of what is the approach of the index, because it's the same material. As you can see, it's the same dimensions as sizes. So in this case, it's good because at least this thing it's okay. But anyway, because the rulebook manual it's in hardcover, I don't like that this is in soft. Anyway, it's okay in some way, but anyway, I don't like the soft cover as it is, so the soft cover itself. So we can start now about the seeing what there is inside. The imaging size are really nice, so they are quite good to see, that's for sure. And here you can see the contents that are inside the book itself, and there are quite a lot of things, because there are things for the open play, the narrative play, the match play. There are also faction rules that are interesting, and also this part that it's maybe one of the main part for the ones that play match play, but moreover tournaments ones. Here you have the introduction. Here you can see that they describe the different ways to play Warhammer 40k, and then we can start with the open play game. These images, I think that it's new. I don't remember to have seen in other ways or in other books, so it's nice that there are new images for new books. And here there is something that I really love, Apocalypse. Sincerely, it's a game that a type of game that I really like. If you want, if you're interested, I also have the manuals about Apocalypse that has been released previously to this one, and if you are interested, I can bring the sort of review scene of what there was inside those ones. So if you're interested, you can comment under here and suggest me to bring it, so you can see also. I have all of them, so it's not a problem, because I really like the approach that is about Apocalypse, because to realize big gains, or because you want to show your army, or because you want to have in a club or so on, or with your friends, to deploy a lot of all units and have a big match. It's really interesting. The counterpart is that you have to pay attention, because it's quite length in time that you require to play, because at least half a day to 1 day full you have to use to create play an Apocalypse, because there are a lot of things to take note about. And here you can see the description of how you had to realize the Apocalypse, and then you can see what I was saying before, the suggestion how to play and organize an Apocalypse, because it's quite important to have a really good organization before playing it, to have a quite smooth one playing. And then you can see that here you have deployment and missions about Apocalypse that are quite good, because they improve quite a lot the option that you have. They give you suggestions on how to play, so it's a really nice thing to remember and play, because you have really quite a lot of things that they can be done. Remember that Apocalypse can be also used in campaign at the end to receive different options that you can have, so it's coming really interesting. And here you have what there is beyond, so some suggestion about how to realize. Anyway, sincerely, I suggest you one or twice, if you have a group, to play an Apocalypse, because it's really interesting, and it changes a bit of the type of game that you want to play usually. So it gives you quite a lot of effort to use to do this, but it completely match the efforts that you done for it, because it's really fun. Then you have something that I really like in this volume, that is the personalization about land raiders. Here there is a bit of story about land raiders, but what is interesting is that you can create your own variants of land raiders. So it's really interesting, and I think that it's quite useful. Here, anyway, I suggest you that if you play with a group, first decide together which combinations can be allowed, not be for all the ones. There are rules, these ones for the open play. Anyway, I remember you that, for example, the Terminus Ultra was yet released from the previous Apocalypse, so it's not so new, this one, but other land raider that can be created or are proposed inside here, they can be a bit not good matched, so I prefer you to suggest the analysis of what can be done and then decide together if want to play it or not. Anyway, this is, for example, a land raider that it's for all the chapter to be taken. But if you go forward, you can find also the one, for example, specifically for the Space Wolf, the one for the Blood Angels, the one for the Dark Angels, and even a chaotic one. So you have really a lot of options and are only part of what you can create. So it's really interesting. And then we have the narrative play. The open play can seem really few as amount of pages dedicated, but they give a lot of options. So you have to remember that. Moreover, because the narrative play propose also something that can be used in the open play too. So you don't have to grease this part because you don't have the narrative playing. There are a lot of things that can be played also for the matched and the open play game itself inside here. In fact, you find the Planet Strike with the rules for Planet Strike, but moreover you find also Warlord and Detachment rules adding to the armies, and also new stratagems to use for the Planet Strike missions, so it's really interesting. Moreover, you have 6 new missions about Planet Strike, so it opens quite a lot of things that can be used. They are really interesting. You can see there are really a lot of things that you can consider about this. And moreover, you have new deployments for the Planet Strike deployments, so really interesting in this way. They add a lot of things, and so I suggest you to see it. And then you have also the Stronghold Assault. So also here you have new rules, but also here you have the Warlord and Detachment new rules to add to your armies, and also new stratagems for the Stronghold Assault ones. So it's really interesting. Moreover, you have here also new mission with new deployments for the Stronghold Assault. So it comes with new 6 options. It's really interesting. And so what I was saying that there were really a lot of things to take note about, it's up to here. Here you can also see something that it's about liner campaigns, because open game it's open to this type of game, and you have a lot of things that you can use to create the campaigns about, so it's really interesting this way. And moreover, here you have the new rules about the fortification with the PowerPoint ones. Sincerely, I don't like the use of the PowerPoints, even if Games Workshop it seems it's like really having a pushing toward the use of this instead the classical points. But I prefer sincerely the use of the points, because PowerPoints I think that they are not so balanced, so I prefer not to use them. Anyway, here you can see that there are quite a lot of different places that you can deploy, so there are a lot of things that you can see about. And here we have the match play, that it's maybe one of the most interesting part of all the book. I want to remember you anyway that matched doesn't mean tournament and doesn't mean competitive, it means matched, so balanced. and it's something that inside here it's quite intense as referring. So you can see here there are the new rules. For example, some are really interesting ones. For example, this one is saying that the flyers can't anymore take objectives. So it's important that armies doesn't have only flyers that are not based mainly or have only flyers, and combined with the fact that has been released quite new about this thing, it's quite interesting. Moreover, there is another one that is keep the fact that was released previously, that it's about the fact that understrength units can be only part of auxiliary detachments. So it's really interesting yet from here. But continuing, we can see that there are different ways of playing with new missions that are inside. You have 6 new Eternal War missions, that is quite interesting, and moreover you have also new Maelstrom missions. What is interesting is that both Eternal and Maelstrom missions has a change in the first turn how it is determined. If before the first to finish deployment was able to decide if start first or second, now it's not the same, because for these missions you have to pay attention, because you have to have a random of who will be the one that will start, because the one that finish first have a +1 to the die, but anyway it will be random, so it's not so said that you finish first and you start first. So there will be a lot of changing in the mechanics to play the game, only if from this type of scene, of type of deciding which one will start first. So it's quite important. And there are a lot new missions. There are 6 new milestone ones. So combined with the ones in the rulebook, I want to remember you that the ones in the rulebook will not cease to exist. They are not to substitute them. They are to integrate them. So there will be 12 Eternal War missions and 12 Maelstrom missions to decide. So it's quite important. And here you can see the definition about the objective markers. So they show you how to realize them. They suggest you what can represent as an objective markers. So it's a way to see how can be done things. So it's quite interesting because they allow you to create new markers related to your army. So it's quite interesting about. And I think that it's a thing that you should take note about. Sincerely, I yet realized something like that, and soon I'll propose you a video about, but my ones are something really old that I'll propose you again. Anyway, in future, because there are a lot of videos to realize, there are a lot of new releases that I have to do and propose you. Anyway, what there is here, it's another thing that it's quite important, because here there is the new faction rules. So new abilities, new rules about objective secures, new relics. So there are a lot of things for different armies that they don't have yet, that have the index yet and don't have the codex. So here there is something that people who play these armies should consider about. For example, there is for Adeptus Sororitas, the Death Watch, the Dark Eldar, the Genestealer Curse. You can see that there are the new stratagems, there are new warlord traits, there are new abilities, there are new relics. So there are a lot of things that you should take note about. What miss here is that there aren't the Blood Angels, for example, but because they knew that they will be released the Codex of Blood Angels quite contemporary. So soon, I don't think that next week, but because I don't know if I'll be able to receive the codex the next week. But anyway, 2 weeks from now, you'll sure have my review about the codex of Blood Angels. Anyway, here then you can see that there are a lot of important things, because there are the updates and are official about point values of different options and units of the different armies. So it's something that match play gamers, moreover tournaments one, really take care about. Here you can see also the battle terrains that are, for example, these ones that you have now the rules about. Sincerely, these ones are something that the Games Workshop trying to really push, but they're not nice to see anyway. But anyway, the Games Workshop continue to propose them. Then you can see also some new mechanics that have the rules, and you have seen also some of these in the White Dwarf of November. I proposed you them, so you can see that now they are playable, and it's quite interesting this way. And then we can see also the battle zones. There are new ways to play in different worlds, so it's really interesting. For example, playing in industrial worlds, so it's a way to play an army in a different context, in a different environment. It's really interesting in this way. And you have also the possibility to use empiric storms, that are zones where there are a different approach of what there is a way to play in warp storms. So it's really interesting, because they propose something that can change the environment itself, modifying, for example, the result of the cycles on way the environment. So it's something that can be really interesting in play. Moreover, because these that are the results of the table are persistent, so once deployed these once, there are having effect or null way to play. There are also instantaneous one, but anyway it's something that can be really interesting in modifying the game in a certain point of the game itself. So it's something that I suggest you to give a sight, because they are quite interesting. And then we have the part about the ladder campaigns. Obviously, if before you had the linear, this is the ladder, so there are new adding to that one. If that before it was about open, this is about matched, but anyway they are in some way related. You can both mix them, it's not a problem. And then there is something that players who play for tournaments and so on really care, and this the update point value for December 2017 for different armies of the Games Workshop. Most part of them has yet the codex, but others are also in the index. Sincerely, I don't want yet to give an analysis of the points, if are done good, if done bad, or so on, because I think that they have to be analyzed played in an army. So in a contest that you can't have completely what there will be inside in the context of the army, so with the army list and so on, I don't think that only at sight can be given a good analysis of them. So I prefer to postpone this analysis to a next video or in the next moment anyway. Anyway, what I can say that is that, for example, here miss the Codex of Blood Angels updating, because it has been to be released yet. So in that case, you don't have to be having problem about playing it. It will be yet completely updated when it exits, so it's a good thing. Anyway, you can see that there are 4 different parts, different armies, what there will be the changes. So you don't have to search what it will be changed. You have related, for example, for the unity, for the board gear, what it will be changed about. So you have to take note about it. And I want to remember also you that these are calibrated based on a matched, not a competitive tournament way, but a matched, so it's a balanced playing. So it's something to take note about. I don't know if they are quite good or not as updating, but anyway it's a good thing that there are. And then you can see also there are also updated values points for the Forge World. And here you can see also the unit playable, but you had also to take note about one thing. Once that Forgewood it's official, and second that these updating are important because in some way I can yet anticipate you. They take a sort of favorite for the Forgewood units, so to make them played more. Anyway, I think that it can be used. Anyway, these anyway to be integrated in armies that have this and the normal points included. So you have to see which one are possible to combine, because it doesn't mean that better here means also that are not balanced for what is in the other part of the army. So you have anyway to take note. But anyway, it's a nice thing that there are also here these ones. And then here you have the schedules or how to create Battleforge armies with the different options, and here what you can scan and reproduce about the how to create a list. Sincerely, I don't like this thing. I think that it's quite poor in details, but anyway, it's good. And here you had the conclusion about the images that you seen at the beginning. And with a Blood Angels that gives you a reminder that soon that will be the release of the Blood Angel Codex, and remember you that soon you see also it. Anyway, this book is something that I think it's really worth its price. It's something that I suggest you to buy, even for the ones that will buy or consider only the updating of the points inside here. I suggest you not to take a note only about it, because the new missions, the new deployments, the new things that are inside, both for the open or for the match or for the narrative anyway, are all things that can be combined to have new way to play. Sincerely, it's one of the manuals that I suggest you to buy really a lot, because they integrate the index, but moreover they integrate the manual, the basic manual of the Warhammer 40k. It's true that the basic rules for Warhammer 40k are free, but missions, deployments and so on, combine these and the one for the complete manual, I think that you can have really a great amount of new type of gaming, of playing. You can really have a much more great amount of how to play a different way. So as it less boring, you have completely new ways. So value this book for more than only the updating value points, because there are a lot more. I know that someone are not really glad about seeing and see only the pain for having the updating of points, but anyway, here there are much more things inside, new rules, new way to play. There are really a lot of more things. So from deynonmod it's everything. I invite you to put a like on this video. I invite you to comment under here if you are interested to make me know and to have a discussion about the effective value of this book, or if you're interested in suggesting me new videos about particular part of this book or other things, up to you. I invite you to subscribe to this channel and ring the bell to receive the notification about the new video that will be released from this channel itself. And I invite you to see also the other videos about this channel. From deynonmod it's everything. To the next time.